Welcome back, Nick Lenz's Comic Corner. Classics as non-classic. This is episode number uh, 288 and Doubleshot number 219. Okay, 288. Okay. All right. First up, Wonder Woman: War of the Gods, containing the entire four-issue miniseries War of the Gods and Wonder Woman Volume 2, issues 58 to 62. Now, here's something that you're probably thinking, oh, this is a bit of a surprise. The writer of all this in here is George Perez. Now, Perez himself also does not only the writing on all the issues that are in this trade, but he does the artwork as well. I'm not kidding. He draws not only the Wonder Woman issues, but he also draws the War of the Gods issues. Now, when this crossover first came, I wasn't reading comics at this point, but from the research I've done to this crossover, it was meant to celebrate the 50th anniversary of Wonder Woman. And George Perez decided, okay, let's do this little crossover between most of the DC books. Not every single one, just a good chunk of them. This was a good idea to do. The thing was, he criticized DC for not doing enough to promote 50th anniversary of Wonder Woman at this point. Of course, the crossover stuff came out in, if I can find it here, the crossover itself came out in, if I can find the original copyright date, came out from 1991 to 1992. My guess is released late in that particular year. Now, this trade is only like 9 issues long. Now, it is something, though, that Perez actually did this cover. Yeah, this cover is done, the cover of this trade is done by George Perez. So, my guess is he must have forgiven DC again. He has quit books several times over the years. He has a reputation for not finishing some books, but he does finish some of the issues he's working on. And he actually quit this book. Now, he had been on the book either as the writer or the artist. A lot of the time, usually it's the artist. Though he stopped drawing the book after issue 24, he had been sort of like the writer most of the time for around the first 24 issues. But beginning with issue 25 up until issue 62, he was just the writer for it. But a majority of the time, when this thing first started, he was the artist as well. You get pretty much appearances by most of the DC universe who is appearing in there at this particular point in time. Yeah, Cersei. Yeah, this is Cersei. Despite the fact she's completely different in New 52, in the current continuity, where she's still got the same hair color, but her outfit's completely different, and she's still an enemy of Wonder Woman. Now, they kind of did something similar to this with the whole thing with the Amazons being terrorists type of thing. They used similar ideas from this thing and reuse them for Amazon's attack, though that one is a lot worse. That one's terrible. It does have good artwork though, but this has gorgeous artwork by George Perez. Here's an action scene done by him. Yeah, this artwork is freaking gorgeous. Though he does write every single issue here, he's not the only artist on here. There are many. Aside from him, you have Cynthia Martin, Jill Thompson, Russell Braun, Romeo Toggle, Joe Phillips, Pablo Marcus, Rick Bryant, Vic Gainaro, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing, Scott Hanna, Al Kupperberg, Phil Jemis, who actually is a good artist, and I believe he's actually one of the books right now. I don't remember which book he's doing now. He's doing the writing artwork now for the upcoming one of the DC Rebirth books. Dick Giordano, Gordon Purcell, Frank Michelin, and Brian Selfreeze. Yep. Yeah. Now, for the original series covers, that was done by George Perez himself, Jill Thompson, and Jay Gildhoff. Gildhoff did not do any of the interior artwork. The ones who I name aside from George Perez did do the interior artwork. I'm going to try to bring it up here because I think I have I had to bring it up here because I do remember seeing Phil Jemis on one of the upcoming DC Rebirth books because, yeah, he's going to be doing one of them. I don't remember which one he's doing, but I know he's doing one of them, where he's doing both the writing and artwork. Now, I've seen the guy is a good artist. No, I thought with Jim, I think he might be related to former Marvel president Bill Jimis. It might be a similar name, I don't know, but Joe Jimis is a terrible writer, especially when it came with series like Marvel. Yeah, I don't think they're related. I honestly don't think so. Just a similar last name. I have heard that Phil Jimis is gay. I have nothing against that. That's his preference. Okay, but the guy is a good artist. Don't get me wrong, he is one. Ah, shoot. Yeah, my thing is acting stupid. Yeah, I'm trying to look it up basically, but I know he's doing one of the books for DC Rebirth. I'm trying to find out which one he's doing. But, if I can just bring it up here. Yeah, my computer sometimes can be very stubborn. Now, I think Alan Kupperberg, he might be related to Paul Kupperberg, the former writer for the Doom Patrol series that started in the 80s, the one that Grant Morrison took over after he left. Yeah. The guy has also done some Supergirl, and he has also done he's also done a lot of Superman work. Yeah, a lot of Superman work. But as for Alan Kupperberg, I'm not all that familiar with him, but he might be related to Paul Kupperberg. Yeah, this one's more possibility than Bill and Phil Jimis being related. His brother, I don't know. Let's see. It's now coming up. Close this one out. Okay. I'm bringing it up now. On Wikipedia, usually pretty accurate when it comes to this thing. Okay. Now the book he's doing is... Okay, here we go. He's currently doing Superwoman. Yes, he's doing Superwoman. So one of the two people. Yep. He is writing and drawing that title. So, yeah. Praise DC for actually keeping it around for books. But like I said, yeah. It not only features characters like Wonder Woman and her supporting cast. You have the Justice League. You have Hawkwoman from the Hawk World series who appears in here. Even Darkseid himself is in here too. And also, basically the whole point of the War of the Gods, it's basically the Greek gods versus the Roman gods. I'm not kidding. And yes, that is Donna Troy in her Troy outfit. Yeah, she got that in the late 80s. She got that during the Marvel and George Perez run. But after this particular storyline wrapped, Perez pretty much ended his run and handed off to a writer. Who was staying in the book for a little while. I'm trying to bring up his name here. His name is William Messner Loebs. Yes, he is the writer who takes over for Perez after he leaves, and of course, hands of John Byrne and a few other different writers. Last one would be Greg Rucka for this flight before it got relaunched in 2006. But yeah, this book is just awesome. Thank you, George Perez, for doing an awesome crossover. I give this book 9.5 out of 10. Awesomeness at its finest. Alright, next up is a trade that I actually wanted to see Marvel do, and yet my wish was granted. Captain Marvel, Earth's Mightiest Hero, Volume 1. And it collects the first 12 issues of the first volume of Captain Marvel by Kelly Sue Honig. Now, there are a few different artists on here. You have Dexter Soy, who does the first 4 issues in issue 7 with Richard Ellison, Will Cortina, Carl Kessler. I think he's still doing some work now. Have Javier Rodriguez, and Al Belvedere and Will Cortina. 5 through 6 is Alma Ramos with Alvaro Lopez. Dexter also does issue 8, and Felipe Andre. Now, the cover art for these books is freaking gorgeous. The Dobsons do the cover art for issues 5 and 6. Issue 1, issues 1 through 4, the covers are done by Emma Guinness, Dexter Vince, and Javier Rodriguez. Issue 7 is done by Jamie McAveen and Jordi Belleri. Of course, Dawson's issues 5 and 6. Dexter Soy does the cover for issue 8. And 9 through 12 is done by Jamie McAveen and Jordi Belleri and Joe Cortines. Here's the interior artwork for issue 1. This is done by Dexter Soy. Now, this artwork is not bad. This is actually pretty decent artwork. Yeah, it looks really nice. It's basically sort of it's kind of like a painted style in a way, which I personally don't have a problem with. Now there are several different stories in here. The first 4 issues, well, pretty much like the first issue is Carol trying to accept the name of Captain Marvel. The first issue is also the first time she takes the name Captain Marvel. Okay, and issues 2 through 4 is her accidentally, while flying a plane, time traveling back in time to 1943 during the Pacific War. The War in the Pacific. Yep. And you also can choose Lieutenant Trouble in here as well, who does not really appear that much. And also you get introduced to Carol's cat, Chewie, who does appear like right after this cat first shows up. He does not stop appearing. There's also appearances by Spider-Woman, Captain America, Spider-Man. I'm trying to remember there was others. Clint Barton is referenced in here. Let's see. But, oh yeah, the guy who actually sort of indirectly gave Carol her powers and made her, indirectly made her a Kree-human hybrid. His name is, and it's mentioned in the last issue here, oh, she takes on Deathbird again. First time since the 70s she takes on her. Yeah. Yeah, she takes on Deathbird for the first time since the original series. I don't think she took her on. I don't think she took on this character. Took on Deathbird in the second volume of the Miss Marvel series that was published from 2006 up until 2010. I do not know if she did. I know she took on Mystique again. Now, the guy's name who actually... They do see him in flashback wearing his old Kree uniform, by the way. The guy's name is Young Rog. That's really his name, and this is what the guy looks like in present day. Yeah, this artwork for this issue, for issue 12, this one is done by Felipe Andrea. Yeah. Now, the artwork for these issues are actually not bad. They're not bad at all. They might be a bit squished for some people. Yeah, like Carol looks like her cheeks are squished in some of the issues, but she doesn't look too bad. And I know that in her current book, her costume gets sort of a redesign, but it's still the same style costume. And the first issue is also the first time she puts on this particular costume. And plus, the costume has a really neat trick, and it shows off in issue 1. What is the neat trick that it does? Let's see if I can do this in here. Let's see if I can find it here. Yeah. Yeah. Her costume can also cover up her face, kind of like a mask in a way. Yeah. It also can retract as well. That's one thing neat about this mask. And also, apparently, it's revealed during the second half where you read this in here. Apparently, because of some trauma going on in her head, she can't fly anymore, so she has to go around riding this cycle. Yeah, she gets her own sky cycle in issue 11. Yeah. In issue 11, she gets her own sky cycle, like Cap does. Yeah, Cap's got one. I think the only characters in Marvel Comics who have their own sky cycles are Captain America. This is, of course, Steve Rogers' Captain America. Hawkeye, and Carol. This is her Sky Cycle right here. This is his first appearance. Now, one thing I do love about the artist who actually designed her costume. Now, the costume itself, the costume is credited. It was designed by Jamie McAlee, who was one of the cover artists. Yeah, this guy is the one who designed this costume. One thing I can praise this costume for is keeping, if you can see it a little bit on the bottom there, yeah, that little scarf thing, that has been part of Carol's many different attires that she's worn over the years. Ever since the 70s when she first became Miss Marvel, and she wore like a carbon copy costume of the original Captain Marvel, Marvel. Yeah, he's referencing here several times that he was the original Captain Marvel, and Carol talks about how much of a brave guy he was, and the fact he sacrificed himself in order to save her life. At one point, Carol was actually in love with him. Yeah, Carol's had several different love interests over the years, and in case some people probably don't know this, toward the end of the second volume of the Carol Danvers Miss Marvel series, she went on a date with Spider-Man. It's even referenced a couple times. It's referenced in Amazing Spider-Man Volume 3, Issue 8, and I believe it's referenced in recently Miss Marvel, not the most recent volume, but the previous volume for Kamala Khan, that she went on a date with Spider-Man, and they actually went out of costume, like in civilian clothes. It's one of the most funniest things that Carol has ever done, going on a date with Spider-Man. But yeah, I do praise Marvel for doing this. Now, I think there's probably there is another trade probably going to come out soon, because this is Volume 1. So there's going to be a Volume 2 where it's probably going to contain issues like 13 to 17 plus the issues from Avengers Assemble for the Enemy Within crossover. If I were Marvel, throw in the Infinity tie-in issues Avengers Assemble as well, because the two issues of Captain Marvel, issues 15, 16, crossover with those two issues. Throw those in there as well. So basically, there'll be about so basically you can have the second volume cover like issues like 13 to 17 and Avengers Assemble issues 15 to 19. Yeah, but I'll wait and see what Volume 2 brings. But this is good. Now, some artwork may be a bit disappointing for some people when they read this, like later on when she looks like this. Yeah, this is not too bad, but I believe this is the same artist who also did the last issue. It's not bad artwork, but it's not terrible. It's okay. Now, despite the few different artists in here, now I was just reading this entirely cover to. Now, if the only other thing I would recommend Marvel should have done with this trade, aside from throwing in the first 12 issues, they should have thrown in the 2 issues of Avengers Assemble, which Killer Sue Hank also wrote, and they take place between issues 1 and 2 of this volume of Captain Marvel. Because the writing here is fantastic by Killer Sue Hank, and the artwork is hit and miss, but the first 4 issues have really good artwork, very painted, love it. I give this book 9 out of 10. Highly recommend basically anybody pick it up who are looking forward to the Captain Marvel movie coming out in a few years. I recommend picking this up. Plus, there is I think there's a few more trades. Pick up like the rest of the trades that collect that volume. The previous volume of the series, which is like in 3 trades. The current volume of the series. I also recommend picking up Essential Miss Marvel Volume 1, which contains the original volume that was published back in the 70s. And I also recommend picking up all the trades. I don't know if they're in like books like this, books in this size, for the second volume that published from 2006 to 2010. But track down those trades. That's how you can get a full grasp of Carol Danvers. And that's, well, As for when she became binary, you have to read Uncanny X-Men to read that issue, how she became binary. But just so the only things I recommend, as of right now, to get a full grasp on Carol Danvers before her movie comes out, Essential Miss Marvel Volume 1, the like, I think it's like 10 Miss Marvel trades that collect all 50 issues of the second volume of the series. That book I just reviewed. The other trades that collect issue from that volume, the 3 trades for the second volume Miss Marvel that features Carol Danvers. Oh, I almost forgot. Monica Rambeau shows up a couple issues in there. Yep. And also pick up the current trades, which is like one release right now, which is also pick up this. Yeah. Which is the first trade collect issues in this volume. This so you get full grasp on the entirety of Carol Danvers' history. Well, most of it anyways when it comes to solo stuff. Okay? So, that's it for this episode. Stay tuned for the next episode. It should be episode 289 and 220. Also, if you want a full list of all the Carol Danvers trades, either with Miss Marvel or Captain Marvel, check out her Wikipedia page. It has the entire list all there. Despite the fact Wikipedia can easily be edited, but all those trades do exist. I have seen them. They do exist. Okay? So until then, I will see you next time. Bye.